When criminals' brutal laughter reverberates throughout the courtrooms, serving as a chilling reminder of the horrible crimes they've done, it causes shivers down the spine and chills in the bones, reflecting the evil that lives in our souls. But for their victims, it serves as a chilling reminder of the anguish and fear they experienced at the hands of these heinous people. Today, we will show a few of those wicked individuals that gleefully laugh in the face of law enforcement officers. But what you'll not want to miss is what happens after that. So, tune in till the very end. The scene in the courtroom in Washtenaw County was horrific, as Jordan Clee's family members read impact statements in front of the court. The youngster who admitted to killing 18-year-old Ann Arbor resident grinned and almost laughed. The victim's mother, who was distraught, had a family member deliver the statement in court. "I've lost my only child, my son, my baby, my friend. More than that, I lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren." Afterwards, the defendant, 17-year-old Donta Wright, addressed the court saying, "I just want to tell you all that I'll be home soon. I love my family." The court was not pleased with Wright's demeanor and inquired the prosecution as to whether the sentence was too light. Judge David Swartz of the 22nd Circuit Court said that he was highly inclined to reject the sentencing agreement and proceeded with the trial instead, due to the defendant's laid-back attitude throughout the proceedings. The defendant would spend the rest of his life in jail and may possibly perish away there if he were found guilty of criminal murder. The family allegedly requested during a brief break that the matter not proceed to trial because they wanted to move on. After the break, Wright's attorney apologized on the teen's behalf, claiming that he has mental problems and that some individuals display fear by smiling. For killing Clee, Wright received a sentence of 23 to 50 years in jail. Demetrius Head was just learning that his co-defendant, Alicia Tate, had rolled on him, blaming him for 2 murders. At times, he rolled his eyes, shook his head, and even laughed. After several minutes, it was too much for the judge. She said, "Mr. Head, I'm sorry that we're interrupting your nighttime, but you need to sit up."
Mr. Head, I'm sorry that we're interrupting your nighttime, but you need to sit up.
Head answered the judge, but the scolding wasn't over. She further said, "This is a courtroom. Do you understand?" Head is accused of shooting 39-year-old Michael Harvey on November 11th after a relatively minor traffic accident on Button Gwinnett Road. Investigators say Head and Tate were in a van stolen from a murder scene in Mobile, Alabama. Michael Harvey's family gave us the video of the victim celebrating with his family just hours before he was killed. Homicide detective John Cleveland told lawyers that Tate claims Michael Harvey was simply approaching their vehicle to make sure everyone was okay when Head pulled out a gun and shot him through the window. For his own murder, the brother of a known tri-state killer received a sentence that might have been as long as life in prison. Terrell Webster, who was found guilty of murdering Grover Cleveland Watson Jr. last year, appeared before Judge Jody Lubers on Thursday. The argument started when Webster became aggressive, with Webster's expecting girlfriend, Watson's sister, testifying in court on Thursday. During the hearing, Watson's sister, Carolyn O'Brien, spoke to Lubers. Watson was assassinated on his birthday, according to O'Brien, who at first asked Webster for forgiveness for the murder. "The first thing I did," O'Brien said, "is just to ask God to forgive you because you didn't know what you were doing." Legally blind, O'Brien sought the judge for assistance in locating Webster in the courtroom so she could gaze at him while speaking. As she made her statement, Lubers told O'Brien, "Just so you know, he's laughing right now." O'Brien replied, "You laughing now, but the moment that get you behind those prison walls for the rest of your life, you'll be somebody's girlfriend, and that smile will no longer be on your face." Webster received a prison term for 18 years to life. Judge Kiana Lilliard's direct style has attracted notice outside of her Michigan courtroom. 2 persons were expelled from the courtroom by Wayne County Circuit Court judge for laughing during a fatal DUI punishment. Lilliard was unable to just stand by while the family of Amanda Kosal, who acknowledged to being intoxicated at the time of her head-on collision with an SUV that killed 31-year-old Jerome Zerker and seriously injured his fiancée, 31-year-old Brittany Johnson, this past summer, laughed. Instead, the judge reprimanded the man and lady responsible while the victim's family was reading impact statements. When Amanda Kosal, 25, was awaiting sentencing for the murder of the father of 5, Jerome Zerker, Donna Kosal and her boyfriend laughed and grinned during Zerker's sister's victim statement. The lover was asked to leave the room by Judge Kiana Lilliard, who referred to him as a clown. The irate judge shouted at the disruptive spectator and said, "It's time for him to go." Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member? I mean, the entire time Mr. Zerker's sister was speaking, that clown, and that's what I'm going to call him, a clown, was sitting there smiling and laughing. Lilliard said, "You can go too, because if you don't know how to act, you can go to jail, so leave."
Because if you don't know how to act, you can go to jail.
As Donna followed her lover out of the courtroom. After a brief discussion with the judge, Donna was taken back inside and given a 93-day prison term for contempt of court. The judge instructed the bailiffs, "Take her, she's going in the back." She addressed the family members who were still present and observed from the audience. These issues are really significant, according to Lilliard. She is aware of how unhappy everyone is that a loved one is entering prison, but the convict herself is being sent there as a result of her own decisions. These individuals are here in mourning, heartbroken by the loss of a loved one caused by a senseless crime, and they're sitting here laughing it off. After spending the night in jail, Donna apologized to the court in tears the next morning. Donna begged the judge to accept her sincere apologies for what she had done. She was quite stressed out. Because of her compassion, Lilliard reduced her sentence by 92 days and freed the woman. Lilliard said, "What you have to understand is, as hard as this is for you to see your baby going to prison, imagine what that family feels like when their child is dead. I hope you learned a valuable lesson from this." TJ Lane, an Ohio school shooter, hurled foul language at the relatives of the 3 children he killed today, gave them the finger, and then grinned and laughed as they referred to him as an animal and a monster. When the judge gave Lane 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole, he received another chuckle. When Lane went on a killing spree at Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, he was waiting for a bus to an alternate school. Russell King Jr., 17, Demetrius Hewlin, 16, and Daniel Parmenter, 16, perished in the assault. 3 other pupils suffered harm. Lane wore a blue button-down shirt to the sentence hearing. He sat down and unbuttoned his shirt, revealing a white t-shirt with the word "killer" written in black marker across the front. When Lane was given the chance to address the court, he delivered a brief, uncivil statement that concluded with "fuck all of you," before raising his middle finger in front of the courtroom full of the relatives of the 3 kids he killed. A little while after Lane's motion, the prosecutor said, "Frankly, I wasn't prepared for this." He asserted that Lane's actions demonstrate that he is a terrible individual. This is confirming what we known all along, that this was a cold, calculated, premeditated killing, the prosecutor said. As the results of the victims referred to him as repulsive and expressed their desire for him to spend the rest of his life caged up like an animal, Lane grinned and winked. Although Lane's defense lawyer reportedly strongly urged him not to speak with what he was going to say to the court, Lane went forward with his statement. Nick Walczak, a survivor, appeared in court today. Walczak had 3 gunshot wounds, 2 to the arm, 1 to the back, and 2 to the neck. One of the rounds struck his spinal cord, paralyzing him. The 3 slain teenagers and he were close friends. Family members of those Lane murdered and injured were present in court and delivered stern testimony. Russell King Jr.'s sister stated in court that her brother had told his friends he wanted to hang out with the gunman once more, indicating his want to be friends with him and feeling empathetic towards him a few weeks before the shooting. Lane chuckled. Dinah Parmenter, the mother of Daniel Parmenter, spoke the harshest remarks against Lane. "I want him to feel my anger towards him," she said. "After today, I refuse to give him a second of my thoughts. He is repulsive. We don't speak his name, and we never will." Lane chuckled again while speaking. She said, "I'm in pain every minute of every day. I cry every day. I'll never be the same because of him. My children look at me and do not see the same mom they used to know. Every time a member of her family leaves the house, Parmenter's mother, that it will not be the last time she sees them," she claimed. He was described by her as a monster and a pathetic excuse for a human being. So that concludes our video. What are your thoughts on it? Please share with us in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one. Until then, peace.